Our last two albums are the double album Speakerboxxx and The Love Below by Outkast, released in 2003. We're going to do Speakerboxxx by Big Boi first. So this is Outkast's double album, but I was led to believe that Big Boi and Andre 3000 weren't on good terms with each other at the time. It turns out that once Andre left for Hollywood to try to do more acting stuff, he had planned on doing a solo album anyway, but Big Boi was also working on music during their brief split, and instead of releasing two separate solo albums, I guess they decided to release them together as a soundtrack for a movie, but I guess that never really materialized, so they just released this instead. They compromised by making the album sound a bit more atmospheric, which adds to the immersion for me as well. They also allegedly recorded over 120 songs for this album, which makes the recording process for this very hectic. So the first album in this double album is Big Boi's. I was also led to believe that Big Boi was more of a straightforward but still very quality rapper, and Andre was more of the eccentric one that did more singing and was more creative. However, there's still a lot of quality and hits on the first half of this album. The track The Way You Move definitely sounds like it could have landed on one of their previous albums and slid right in. This album is much more feature-heavy, which kind of feels like Big Boi is almost trying to groom a replacement for Andre 3000, especially the guy Sleepy Brown, even if I think he was pretty great on this. It almost sounds like he couldn't hold down the album on his end by his own. Now, that's not to say he doesn't still impress. I think his flows and mic presence are still very elite, just as good on their other releases as well. The production is still very fun and inventive. There are a lot of horns, some interesting production choices, and it's still very immersive. Even the features are still pretty good, my favorites being Killer Mike, and Andre 3000 also makes a fair bit of appearances on this too, so while this was a very good record, I'm sure a lot of people imagine how much better it would have been if Andre was just more involved on it and if they had just, cut the fat a fair bit. So I'm going to give this like a high 7 out of 10. It was pretty good.